This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network.
Hi, I'm Niamh Kavanagh.
And I'm Gearóid.
And you're listening to Agony Rants.
Good morning, listener.
I know.
Good morning. Welcome to the show that will heal your life, fix your Monday, change the world, and make you just feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm doing that today.
And Niamh's in a bad place.
You know why?
I love it when you're in a bad place.
Because I get
I'm always
really...
like, no, here's the real Niamh. I'll tell you why. Because you're so good at being cheerful.
I am
but
cheerful.
you're really bad. You're really bad
Inside.
at being miserable.
My inside voice.
When you're annoyed, you get really irrational. And I'm like, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
It's a little bit unfortunate for you because I ran out of my HRT patches a week ago. And I'm starting to feel it now.
We're going right to the chemist.
I ran out about 2 weeks ago and I forgot to make the appointment. It's my own fault. I forgot to make the appointment with the nurse. You have to get your blood pressure checked every year. And I was busy doing all sorts of Eurotastic stuff. And I forgot to make my appointment. And, you know, everything now that I'm suffering currently in my head, I'm definitely blaming on the fact that I haven't had a HRT patch on for about 2 or 3 weeks. And, you know, the funny thing is, this morning I woke up and my hair is electric. So everything I touch, I'm shocking. I don't know whether that's everything. That's why my hair is up, because
does that
I washed my
happen?
hair last night. No, I don't think it's something to do with the HRT patch, but everything that's happening to my life now.
I only heard a while ago, because I used to have this problem where, you know, like where sometimes you would touch and I go,
Yeah.
That's to do with your shoes.
Yeah, very likely. But I've been
I
wearing these
didn't
shoes for
realise
like
that.
6 months.
You're in a
The
bad
problem
place.
is...
She punched a florist this
So
morning.
here's what happened. I started going through menopause a few years ago, and initially it was fine, and then suddenly I got to a place where things weren't going so well. So I went and got patches.
How do you know when things aren't going well?
Well, everybody knew it wasn't going so well.
Oh, gotcha.
But Mason, you know that for me, all of my joints hurt, and then the worst part of it though for me was the meh, as I would call it. I was completely meh all the time. I'd know
Just like fed up.
just meh. Everything was, and that's not like me. I'm very chill, but chill is not the same as meh. He's laughing because he does not recognise me from the
It's
chill.
like, yeah, but that's your vibe. That's how you roll.
I know I am very chill, but chill, yeah, that's fine. But when I say meh,
There's not a lot of difference between meh and
yeah, the difference is I didn't want to get off the sofa. That's the
That
difference.
sounds lovely.
Don't get me wrong; it was
Do you
very
know what
joyful to be on the sofa,
you know what I'd
but I
love?
need to be off the sofa.
What I would love to kill my ambition. That's what I'd love.
That's exactly what I'm
I
saying.
look forward to the death of ambition.
Do you know when you do a big project, right? You know, like a big project, say when I did Celebrity MasterChef, or you have a tour, or, you know, if you're going to take on a new challenge, say, and then you're used to the low that you go into afterwards. You know, that thing where you put all your energy into something.
Oh, right.
okay?
And then you get a low afterwards.
And then you get that low, that lovely low where that's your guide to take a little moment to recharge before you do the
Okay.
next thing. I just didn't want to do the next thing for a long period of time, which is very unusual for me. I went and I had a conversation with my lovely nurse, and she said, this is what she did. So
did you just go
you
in and say,
stick it on twice a week.
here's the thing, I punched a concrete wall yesterday and I'm just wondering why.
It affects people in a different way, right?
And are you taking on any new challenges at the moment, Niamh?
I'm not necessarily, I have new challenges currently.
She does have a new challenge. Are you going to tell people that you're doing
Many
Dancing with the Stars?
challenges. No, I'm not
or is that
telling
still-
people
or is
that.
that still under wraps?
That's not. Anybody who has seen me try to walk down a street was knowing that I'm not doing Dancing with the Stars.
Okay. The hair is up. You're in a leisure suit.
I'm not. No, that's just
Okay.
a good top.
Oh, okay. Fair play. Okay, fair. No, it's lovely, Niamh. Fair play.
No, believe me, if I'm doing Dancing with the Stars, I will not be wearing leisure suits.
Okay. It all remains to be seen,
Oh,
Niamh.
no.
It all remains to be seen.
This time of year, we always have this speculation, right? Whoever's going to do Dancing with the Stars can't tell anybody before they do it, apparently.
Well, okay. You tell me.
I didn't tell you anything. I am not doing Dancing with the Stars. Anyone who knows me knows that there's a very good reason for that.
Fair enough. Fair enough, Niamh. It all remains to be seen. I did this weird thing yesterday, right?
Okay.
Now, do you know the way... it's hard to address this without sounding old, but we've just spent 10 minutes talking about the menopause, so we are where we are.
And under no illusion does anybody think that I'm not old, because you keep telling them that I'm old.
We might as well just lean into this.
Okay, come on, lean in.
I feel like an outfla.
Right, go on.
Because I'm so disgusted
By young people?
by the way people talk to me in shops, like customer service. I'm so appalled
Come
by
on.
where customer service is at. Like, I was at Manchester Airport yesterday.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And I was at
Did
gate...
they not give you the respect you were
They
due?
did not give me the respect I was due.
Okay, go on.
I was sitting at gate 51. I don't know why I remember that, but I do.
Okay.
I was at gate 51 opposite the KFC.
Okay.
I was sitting down, waiting to get on my flight. And I looked out the window and there was a plane
Okay.
on fire.
What?
It was on fire.
Is that my
I
plane?
was kind of looking around going, there's a plane on fire. Like,
Was there flames?
yeah.
Okay.
There was big flames coming out of it. And I was like, is nobody... no concern.
No concern.
So I said it to the woman on the gate and I was like, there's a plane on fire. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, no. No, I'm sorry. I'm not the unreasonable person here. I am a passenger that's waiting to get on a plane and a plane is on fire.
I think you should be minding
I
me a
think
bit.
I'm entitled to have questions.
Or at least a little reassurance.
Yeah.
That you care.
And she's like, yeah, plane's on fire. And I was like, oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize we weren't supposed to ask. Were we supposed to just pretend that the plane wasn't on fire? But she was so rude. There was a plane on fire. There was also like so much jet fuel. And we were all sitting beside the window. And I was just like,
Were you thinking Die Hard? Die Hard.
anyone want to move us over to the Costa? Is there anyone want to
Were you...
step in here? But like, it was like I'd said to them, it's like I'd gone up and said, why isn't your hair in a bun? She was just like, it's like I made a personal remark. She's like, yes, the plane's on fire.
I
was
know,
like, oh,
she couldn't say.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry. Okay,
okay.
yeah, sorry. Oh, of
Now,
course.
did you go up
I'm
to her
so out
like
of
that?
line. No, I just went up and I said, because I was kind of laughing.
you know?
When I was going up to say to somebody, there's a jet plane on fire. I'm not sure if it's the plane that we're all queuing up to get on. But,
Can I have a little reassurance?
but just, I'm not sure if I should tell somebody. If you have 200 people standing waiting to get in a plane,
Okay.
beside a window, and outside that window there's a plane on fire.
Okay, yeah.
Do you not think that warrants maybe a little announcement?
It's definitely it's definitely some sort of comment.
Like, if they can make announcements to tell you to buy lottery tickets, I think they can make an announcement to say, you know the way that plane's on fire, don't you worry, that's not the one we're getting on.
You just told us what airline you were on.
Yeah, of course.
We're buying
Of
lottery
course.
tickets.
I was just like...
And
Okay.
was it the same airline that was on fire?
No, it wasn't. It was somebody else.
then, it was
Maybe
grand.
they didn't care. Yeah. So,
grand.
yeah, it's like, yeah, it's not our plane. It's
We
grand.
have problems. We have our own problems. We don't need theirs.
Niamh, I'm on tour at the moment. Gearóid is coming to a town near you.
Amazing.
I'm stopping until after Christmas, but I'll be back in January, and I will be in Greenon in Letterkenny. I'll be in the Cork Everyman, which I cannot wait. That's
I
going to be
love
really
Cork,
fun.
yeah. Letterkenny's
Mandela
great
Hall
too.
in Belfast. Yeah, Letterkenny's great crack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm going to be all around the country until June, I think. Howth, which was one of my favourite shows of the last leg of the tour. We've just put on another show there because it was so much fun, and we're putting on another Limerick show because that was really fun. So all of the new dates and the ones that are currently on sale are at gearoidfarley.com or through the link in my Instagram bio. Niamh, will you be coming?
Always.
Always. Should be at every single show.
Every single show.
Should we sign autographs in the hall?
I don't always tell them when
And do
I'm
it
coming.
in your eyes in the car park.
Yeah. For less money than you think.
It's always less money than you deserve. We are pausing for a moment to remind you that Agony Rants is part of the Head Stuff podcast network. We would love it if you could subscribe to Head Stuff Plus. You can do so for as little as €5 a month, and in return for that €5 a month, you will get bonus content from us and bonus content from all of the shows on the Head Stuff Podcast Network, including the show that we are cross-promoting this week, which we have no idea what it is, Niamh.
No, because they don't tell us anymore.
They don't tell us anymore.
Which is probably a sign.
Apparently we don't need to know.
It's probably a sign.
We're endorsing something that we've no idea what it is. This could be, God knows what this show is.
Yeah, but at the same time, is there anything truly bad on Head Stuff? There's only good stuff.
Oh, you make an excellent point.
It's only good stuff on Head Stuff.
Anyway, we're cross-promoting this show and... Niamh, we have a problem.
Okay. Many problems.
Do you want to read this?
I would start with this one. Dear Niamh and Gearóid, I have a problem for you. I have an elderly neighbour who I used to be very close to. However, that has changed. My neighbour, let's call her Gladys, is in her mid-70s. We have known her for about 8 years since we moved in, and we've always had a nice relationship, and she always got on well with my 16-year-old son. My son has a scooter, and he's a bit of a Hell's Angel on it. 10 weeks ago, he was coming home at night, and just before he pulled into our estate, he was hit by a car.
Oh, God.
He was fine aside from a fractured wrist, and I was really upset from the shock. My son said he turned onto the street and was going fast, and the car hit him. Luckily, the car wasn't going fast, but it was night time and the driver didn't see him. The driver was Gladys. Jesus. She got a shock and was very apologetic and upset.
Ah, God love her.
Once we got back from the hospital and she found out my son was okay, all of this changed. She is now furious with us and refusing to speak to us. She had a go at my son for not having a helmet or reflective gear, and I'm annoyed she almost killed my son, 3 exclamation marks. I've tried to speak to her and she refuses to talk to me as she says she is still too angry. I've noticed she hasn't been driving, so I guess she is still shaken up. Is there a way to resolve this? Maybe I don't need to be friends with my son's potential murderer. Jesus. What do you think? Is there a way of resolving this? I'm still quite annoyed, but aware my son had a role in this. What do you think, Angela? Oh my God.
I think.
Oh my God. Hold on, I'm going to sit over here for a minute.
I know the premise of this podcast.
Okay.
Is that we'll always be on your side.
Okay.
But to say there's a lack of self-awareness going on in this letter. Like, you're treating Gladys like she nearly killed your son. Let's just be clear about this. Your son nearly killed himself. That's what happened.
He was on a scooter going fast.
In the dark, with no light,
reflective things
no reflective gear, no helmet.
Nothing.
Gladys is completely within her rights.
I would say Gladys has had a terrible shake-up, and if she hasn't driven since, can you imagine the trauma she's going through? Can you imagine it? Now, don't get me wrong. Now, look, I'm going to say this, right? Angela, I understand you got a scare. You got a scare. Your 16-year-old son could have died, right? Yes. Let's take Gladys out of the equation.
Yeah, of course.
You got a fright. The go-to is my son nearly died, and that's a shocking thing, and you're reeling a bit from that, right? And then on the top of it, you know yourself actually by this email that your son has a part in this because he's out in a scooter, and actually you also know that you have a part in it because although he's 16, you haven't, you maybe you feel a bit guilty because maybe you haven't laboured the helmet and the thing. I know how hard it is to get teenage boys to do anything. I understand that. So leave all of that aside. The problem here is Gladys is in her 70s, right? Now, she might be hale and hearty and fabulous in her 70s, but she has got the fright of her life because she almost killed someone. Can you imagine if you were Gladys in this moment?
I know, yeah.
You'd be devastated.
You'd never drink and drive again.
Never. No, but she must be devastated, right? So,
oh yeah, she's probably upset and
embarrassed.
And also, at 7, if you're in your 70s, the bit of independence that you have is driving, and now she may not drive again. Or also, what's worse? Do you know what's worse is? It's not that what she feels. She's probably getting pressure from other people going, "You're too old to be driving now. You're after hitting a kid. You could have killed him."
Yeah, and
that's not fair.
We don't know the full story, to be fair, right? All we know is he was a hellion coming around the scooter, and she may have been not aware.
Yeah,
but I know for a fact these scooters are flying around.
Well,
was it an electric scooter? I think at 16 it's likely to be an electric
scooter. Here's the thing I will say, right? Because I drive.
How many scooters were you
on?
on?
I have an electric scooter.
Yes,
and
I know.
I was an early adopter of the electric scooter.
You were?
I've had one for years and years.
You were?
So, but I will say this, looking at this from both sides.
Right.
If you are driving a car, the biggest thing on the road has responsibility for the littlest thing on the road.
Without a doubt.
Right? So you are responsible for the
Being
thing
aware.
that you could kill
Yeah.
with one provision. The provision being that the person has taken all of the steps to protect themselves.
Yeah. So lack of helmet.
If you're not wearing a helmet,
No visuals.
if you're not wearing, because the one thing, if you're like, I just do not understand it. The number of times I've been driving home and there's somebody in black on a bike or a scooter at night that will just swing out in front of you, and you're like, it's not my job to keep you safe.
Because it's impossible.
It's so funny because the attitude is, and I gave out to somebody that I know who was doing this, and they actually used the phrase,
go on.
Well, if they hit me, they're in the wrong. I was like, but you're dead.
What, or maimed?
Like, it's very hard to take a moral high ground from 6 foot under. It's particularly with a scooter, and I know this from being on a scooter. Like when I'm on a scooter, I look deranged because I have a helmet, but I've got a light on my helmet.
Yeah.
And I've got like high vis, and then I've got like these little blinking clip-on lights that, like, I swear to God, I'm like a mobile Christmas tree.
Do you have elbow and knee pads as well?
No, I don't have elbow and knee pads. But the thing about it is when a scooter turns, whatever about a bike where you can have reflectors in the tires, and like even if you've got loads of lights on a bike, when you turn, you don't see the bike because the lights are facing either direction, but you can have reflectors on your wheels.
You should have a high vis no matter what you're doing.
Nothing
even
on a scooter.
I walk at night sometimes, right, because I have to, and we should be wearing reflective stuff all the time because people can't see you.
Yeah, I think what needs to happen is, your son needs to go over to Gladys and he needs to apologise.
And you need to show Gladys that you have understanding of her shock, and she'll probably then reciprocate. Because
at the moment she is just feeling like your son's the victim.
I know, but Angela knows this. I know by the way she's written this.
Yeah.
Right? She's got a fright, but she recognises what Gladys is going through because she says it. It's all through it.
Yeah.
You know, it's all through it. But she's... I think, you know, you're saying she had a go at your son for not wearing a helmet or reflective gear, but you must know where that's coming from with Gladys. You know, Gladys got the biggest fright of her life.
Yeah, and she may not drive again, and that'd be very sad.
Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, if you want to resolve this, Angela, the problem is she says you say that she refuses to talk to me as she's still too angry, right? But are you being angry going towards her? Are you looking for justification when you go to her?
Yeah.
You know, it depends on how you're going towards her. Look, it might involve giving her a bit of space. It's going to be awkward for a little bit, but I think all you need to be doing is meeting her with compassion. You may never repair this, to be fair.
Because you said she got a shock and she was very apologetic and upset. But like, now that if your son's okay, he needs to be apologetic and upset. He's the one that needs to go, I'm so sorry, I was going too fast. I came out in front of you too fast. I wasn't wearing my helmet. I wasn't wearing my reflective gear. He does need to take responsibility.
And it's not a bad thing for him to have to do at 16.
Yeah, because
he's not a baby anymore.
Yeah, there is that thing as well of cyclists and scooters, and I say this as one of them, where you're you're so vulnerable on the road.
Yeah, you are.
That you're kind of like, anyone that does anything, you're like, what the hell? But I always feel like, now this is probably because I am a scaredy cat, but you kind of like, you can't take risks.
No.
You can't take, because it's too easy and I know it when I'm driving.
Yeah, but scooters,
the amount of scooters I've nearly killed.
I know. Because they don't actually,
with the best will in the world, like.
And sometimes, like cyclists, not all, to be fair, they don't go by the rules of the road.
Yeah, that is true.
You know,
and I know that as like on the scooter, you do.
You just think you can zip around anywhere you like.
You zip through red lights, and and I've done that. I have done it. I hold my hands up and say I've done it, and I've done it on a bike as well. Mm-hmm. But
I know, because I know I'm not on bikes and scooters, to be fair, but I am in a car and I see it all the time, and I'm hyper conscious. But you don't always have the reaction time.
And I know people. I know people on bikes and on scooters are going, here we don't need to be given out to because we like it is hard enough to be cycling, particularly around Ireland.
And quite a lot of people are not respectful of them. Right?
Yeah, and people drive like maniacs. I've noticed that since COVID, people really don't take care when they're driving.
No,
anymore.
they've lost the run themselves.
But the thing about it is, it should never be a surprise to a driver that there's a scooter or a bike close to them. And if it is a surprise, okay, maybe they're driving without, due attention. But if it is a surprise, that's kind of on the scooter or the bike. Because you have to make yourself as visible and as...
Well, if you're starting very visible, that's a different conversation.
Yeah,
but at the same time, essentially, we're still fighting over who's right and wrong here. And the truth is, you'll never resolve that. You know that you'll never resolve it. So what your question is here,
you're trying to fix the friendship.
You're trying to fix the relationship you have with your neighbour. You'll not be friends probably, but you've had a nice relationship with her and you want to be supportive and very soon. But she's just got the biggest shock of her life. Give her a little bit of space. Next time you go to speak to her, say, look, I understand, Gladys. I'm really sad that happened.
I think you should offer to go out in the car with her. Say, listen, if you want to get back into driving, I'll sit in the car with you if you want. Like if you want some company, just so you don't kill another kid. If you need anyone to sit there and pull the wheel, in case you go through a schoolyard, Gladys.
I just think it could happen to anybody. This situation,
it can, yeah.
On both sides.
And the sad thing is, though, it happened to somebody in their 70s.
Yeah, and that you're already dealing with confidence issues.
But I do think that she was apologetic. So I do think it is your turn.
Yeah, I think she got a fright and then she was apologetic, right, and upset. What happened to change that?
I know.
What happened to change
her
it?
son? The sad reality is, what happened to change that is her son lived. That's what happened. Because she got a shock and she was very apologetic and upset. And once he got back from the hospital, she found out my son was okay. All this changed. So maybe she is a nightmare. Maybe she was like, shit, I'll have to have another go.
She's been planning it since he was 8.
Did he not do a good job on her lawn or something? She's like, I'll bide my time.
Listen, I feel for you, Angela, because it's very hard to be around neighbours that you don't get on with. That's a tough one.
Oh, yeah.
That is a tough one. But at the same, you may never repair this. But the point is, stop forcing the issue.
I do think this is repairable, and I don't think it's Angela that can repair this. I do think Angela needs to say to her son, and I do think she needs to kick her son's ass.
Yeah, because actually, to be fair, he needs to learn. Has he learned it? He might have learned.
But
he might have, to be fair.
Helmets and reflective gear. I'm sorry.
Know. It's not cool when you're 16.
This is 80s.
Yeah.
This was the campaign of the 80s, like helmets, reflective gear, seatbelts.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is 2024. If your son isn't wearing a helmet on a scooter in 2024, he's an absolute moron.
Yeah, he is.
Absolute gobshite.
I know. Did I tell you my son got an electric scooter recently?
Did he?
In Manchester, yeah. I know.
Does he wear a helmet?
He says yes. I wouldn't be sure.
Tell him that you can get, that's the thing about helmets,
you can get
right?
a cool one.
You can get cool ones.
You look like Batman.
I have one that folds up.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it just snaps in half, so you can put it into your bag.
And if you fall and hit your head, does it snap in half?
No. It's Neil Delamere bought it for me.
I would love.
He bought it for me when I was on tour with him because he was like, you have to wear a helmet, and I was like, oh, okay. And he bought me a helmet.
Fair play to him.
Yeah, I think this is fixable, Angela.
Yeah, and actually, to be fair, Angela, I can hear.
Get your son to go over with a bunch of flowers.
Yeah, I can hear all the way through this, right? All the way through this, you actually understand Gladys's side. You do know. And you also understand your side. There are two sides to this, Angela. It's not straightforward. I get that, right? But at the same time, you're not going to fix it because neither of you are going to admit that the other person may or may not be right. There's no easy way out of that. So stop thinking about that aspect. Just think about having a little empathy for Gladys and allowing her to have empathy for you. Because if you're constantly going, oh, that's a disgrace,
I think also what we're doing is we are giving advice to a very specific version of Gladys.
Yeah. And it's an emotional...
Gladys could die and they could find the bodies of 40 teenagers
they
in
could.
that garden. we don't know.
We don't know where Gladys is, She could be an El cow.
I think it's the name Gladys. If she was called Morticia, we might feel differently.
Look, Anja, I think you can fix this. I think you can fix it, but it might take time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we believe in you. We believe in you, Angela. Bunch of flowers. Send that little bastard of a son over and say, you apologise or I'll punch your face in.
God, I'm so pleased though. Like,
you apologise or you better be wearing a helmet when you come home.
And high vis.
Yes.
So I can see you coming.
Niamh, we have a second problem.
Then.
Of course we do. Niamh, Gearóid, my queens.
I love the fact that you've exclaimed because there's exclamation
marks.
That is correct.
I look forward to every Monday like you wouldn't believe. I'm obsessed with Niamh Kavanagh and her version of Do Right Woman, Do Right Man and Nowhere to Run remain my go-to versions.
I'm not even looking at you.
I don't know who sung them originally.
What?
Who sung them originally?
Well, Do Right Woman, Do Right Man would have been most famous for Aretha Franklin and Nowhere to Run is Martha.
Never heard of her.
Martha and the Vandellas.
Oh.
You've heard?
Now, I do have to say you do great versions of them.
Thank you.
Nowhere to Run is one of my favourite songs that you recorded.
It is a great song.
You do a great version of that.
Thank you. It was a long time ago.
You still do a great version. I heard
do.
you sing that a while ago.
Yeah.
Actually, it was probably years ago.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's quite a while.
Because you haven't done a concert.
I do concerts.
Yeah, I know, but like...
Different.
Anyway.
I know.
Please do, as Gearóid says, record more music.
Okay. I'm not even looking at him. I'm not even looking at him now. Okay, go on.
Listen, you may succeed where I failed. I am a listener from America. I first heard Gearóid filling in with Brian Sappy on Ask Ronna, another podcast I love. I love that podcast.
Yeah, I know.
I love that podcast.
Ask Ronna.
And then adored his frank honesty on couples therapy. I am aware Naomi Ekperigan may have a problem with me sending you this problem.
She has been vocal before.
However, I hope she understands as this is an Irish-based issue. Just to clarify for the listener, if you haven't heard, a while ago, like what problem was it? I was trying to remember which one it was. Somebody sent us through this amazing problem.
It was a brilliant program.
It was a really brilliant problem.
It was so brilliant we can't remember which one it was.
We can't remember which one it was, but it was really good. I think...
If it came up in front of us, we'd know.
It was like a relationship. It was a very spicy problem.
Anyway,
spicy. Naomi Ekperigan listens to the show and she did a rant like you wouldn't believe on couples therapy. About the person that listens to couples therapy but sent us the issue.
I know, and the issue was with a couple.
Yeah, it was with a couple. Yeah, Naomi was furious. I'm going to actually dig out that audio and I might paste it in here.
Yeah, this is really funny. Okay.
Okay, the letter continues. For some time now, I have had an overseas situationship with an Irish man.
Ooh.
Let's call him Ernie. We spend time together.
Many men have you called Ernie in this country.
My uncle was called Ernie.
Okay.
Sorry, not my uncle, my great uncle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was gay.
Was his friend called Bert?
No, but this guy's called Bert.
Is he really though?
He is.
Okay, that's why.
Oh well, no, he's probably not. But like, yeah, but the yeah, I do think I was only thinking about that recently. I think he was my mom's uncle.
Okay.
But I think he was gay.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were all like gay. He wasn't gay. It was like we lived alone and he sold ladies' shoes.
He did what now?
Sold ladies' shoes.
So anybody who sells ladies' shoes is gay?
Well, no, I mean you just put 2 and 2 together and maybe get 2.5. But
because he never married.
Well, he never married.
Did he ever have a partner?
Come here. Marriage was compulsory back in those days.
It was, to be fair. But there was a lot of men who didn't get married back then. A lot of men.
Yeah.
And women.
Gays.
No, and women. Because actually both sides of my family have unmarried, people.
Gays.
No, Auntie Jill wasn't gay. Okay.
Okay.
That's not true.
We spend time together a couple of times a year.
Sometimes they lived on a farm.
Just
make them gay.
Just lack of options. We should get a Love Honey sponsorship for this show.
Anyway.
Okay. We spend time together a couple of times a year and care for each other deeply.
Okay.
If we lived in the same part of the world, Ernie would be the man for me. This summer, we made the decision to be together and he is planning on moving to America in January, visa permitting. He is fortunate to have a job that can transfer him to a New York office without much issue and they can sort the paperwork quickly. However, since our decision, I am riddled with guilt because of what our president-elect represents to the rest of the world.
Oh, right, okay.
This is not the Trump podcast.
No, but it's fast. But, you know, we thought we were going to have issues just with the politics, but actually real people are having real difficulties with this situation. I was not expecting this level of problems coming in because of Trump getting elected.
We can't solve it. But there's nothing we can do about it.
I could have solved it years ago when I was sitting behind him and the Grammys.
You were sitting behind? Yeah, you should have stabbed him.
I mean, I would have been in prison all these years, but at least the world would not be where it is.
I know.
Imagine he was right in front of me.
Ireland wouldn't have won the Eurovision.
Yeah, it would. Other people won the Eurovision.
Did they, Niamh?
Yeah.
Did they?
No one would have beaten Sonia.
None like Sonia would have won.
Sonia would have won.
Sonia would have won.
No, dear.
As much as I want him to be
here, do you want to live in a world where Sonia won?
I do, Niamh. I'd love to try it.
Stop it now. Stop it now. You're
I wonder what she'd be. Yeah. As much as I want him here by my side, I feel it is wrong to bring someone into this country under this government. I have a very good job here, and that I could not do from Ireland, and I know I can give him a good life. However, he has been quite down since the death of his mother a year ago, and has been working from and living in the family home in
Monaghan.
That is the wildest spelling of Monaghan. Oh wow, Monaghan.
No, but it's phonetic. It's
phonetically
written. Come on.
Am I asking too much? Please help. I would love to know more about the Irish perception of my country right now.
I don't think you do, actually.
No. My would-be husband is not enlivened by politics. With every good wish, Bert, NYC.
Okay, Bert. There's one very basic thing I want to say to you here.
Go on.
If this is the man for you and he's willing to go over there to you, just let it be. I think Donald Trump is going to do what he's doing wherever you are. It won't make any difference. There are other issues at stake here because he's living on his own in this house. He wants to change. He loves you. You love him. What's the worst that can happen? You go over there. I understand there's difficulties. And you think, do you think it's drastically going to change in January? Like, is it drastically going to change?
I mean, it might.
Your day to day. I understand because obviously this is gays. It's going to be really fraught. But to be honest with you, at the heart of it, Donald Trump for me is a narcissist, right? He's going to be too busy playing golf.
I don't know. I think America's going to be rough.
It's going to be rough.
But I think you're asking them to move to New York. And yes, New York under Trump is going to be rough. However, have you been to Monaghan?
Well, clearly not, because he hasn't seen a spelling of it even.
He's living in the family home.
On
his relatives
own.
are dead.
He's
on
here on his own.
He's in Monaghan. Like, New York is going to be bad, but it's still going to be New York with a man he loves.
What? Look, love is love, and in my head.
Thank you for that, Niamh. The community appreciates it.
I know they know how I feel about them. You know, the community knows I'm like their mammy, right? The point is, I think we all live in every country. I was just having this conversation with a lovely girl from Chicago, God bless her, who's upset because she has to go back. But anyway, here's the thing. Wherever you live, you want people to do the job they're supposed to do, right? And the biggest problem is Donald Trump is coming in and we have no clue what level of crazy he's going to bring, because the level of crazy he brought last time, right?
Yeah.
And we know the level of crazy can be dangerous, right? The reality is you can't anticipate what's about to happen. You can't change where you're going to be working unless you want to give up everything and come here to Monaghan, which I wouldn't overly recommend if you're coming from New York, right? Because I don't think you're going to be equipped to deal with what's happening. But what's the worst that can happen? You're not happy over there, so maybe you come back.
Come here, Bert. Have a bit of self-confidence here.
Yeah.
You are taking yourself out of the equation.
You are.
Bert's like, oh, you're coming to this country, it's going to be awful. He's coming to you.
And he's
Step up, Bert.
Yes, I agree. And you, honestly, that's what I'm saying. Love is love. You're going to go, you're going to make a go of it as a couple.
Have a great time.
And overnight, people are not going to go, you can't be gay in this country. Right?
No, they'll probably roll back marriage.
Yes.
And there'll be assholes on the streets.
There will be assholes, but there are assholes on the streets now anyway.
Get yourself a pepper spray.
They clearly exist. But the assholes clearly exist. They
Of
fucking
course they
voted
do,
for
of
it.
course
You know
they
what I
do,
mean? So
yeah.
that hasn't changed. The point is, your love...
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, they voted him in, so the assholes haven't changed. They're there. So the reality is what's happened is, for whatever strange reason, they've decided to put this multi-felon criminal in to be the president of Ireland, or America, should I say. But the point is...
Well, who knows?
But the point... If Conor McGregor has his way. But anyway,
Yeah.
but the point is, they've made this decision. They're going to have to make it work. Yes, the difficulty now is that he has no balance because the Supreme Court is on his side and he has the House. But the reality is real people have to adjust to whoever's in.
Yes.
So step outside. I understand if you're very invested in politics, it's quite difficult. And I know New York is kind of fairly strong in this situation.
Well, you're saying that your husband is not enlivened by politics, which basically means that he probably doesn't pay that much attention to it. And fine, fair enough. But I don't think that you are... I don't think you should be giving yourself a hard time for asking somebody to be with you.
He's not unaware that Donald Trump is going to be president. He's not unaware. If he had any problems with that, then you have that conversation with him. Forget what's happening outside. Because if it becomes too difficult for you to be gay in New York, the issue will be that you can't live there. And if that's the case, then you move. But there's no reason for him not to move.
No, there's
because he can clearly do his job.
Unless you're having second thoughts.
Yeah.
And if you're having second thoughts, you have to say you're having second thoughts. You can't just say, "Oh, I wouldn't invite you to move to New York under Trump." That's not good.
It's going to be a big change for him anyway.
Because there's one kind of little red flag in this that he says. He said, "If we lived in the same part of the world, Ernie would be the man for me." Well, that's what's happening.
So there's no would be.
So that's a weird way to phrase
There's
that.
no would be in that sentence.
Yeah, that is what's happening.
He's about to be.
But I will say this, Bert. If you do not want him to move,
you need to be honest.
You need to be honest. You need to say it to him, and you need to tell him why. Do not
blame it on Donald Trump.
Let's park this while Trump is in.
No,
because you're having somebody hang around and you don't want them, and that's not fair.
Also, don't, because he's lost his family or whatever, you know, he lost his mother, I think he said, and don't ask him to come, right? Don't ask him to come because you feel sorry for that either, or don't not ask him, you know, because you feel you can't. Do you understand what I mean? Like in that sense, you know, don't be saying come over even if you're not, just because that's happened.
Just whatever you do it with an open heart.
Yeah. And kindness.
And honesty.
And don't worry about Trump's situation. That's going to be what it is. It doesn't matter where you are.
I mean, what a lucky bastard.
What, Trump?
No, your man going from a house in Monaghan to New York, excuse me.
Monaghan's nice too. Come on.
It's lovely, but it's not New York.
No, well,
he's going over to a rich man in
New York isn't Monaghan either. It's horses for courses. I'm trying to be balanced here. Of course, New York is going to be exciting.
The horses are on courses in Monaghan, but in New York, they're in Central Park.
Yes, they are. They really
You'll
are.
have a ball.
He'll have a brilliant time.
You'll have a nice time. He'll have a great time.
He will.
And look, Trump is going to be a bastard. But look, it will end. And do you know what? Actually, you speak about the Ask Ronna podcast. She said a great thing in 2016 and it's always stuck with me. Because I remember they were getting loads of letters around the same time about, you know, what will happen if Trump gets in. Mm-hmm. And Ronna said this amazing thing. She said, we'll fix it.
Yeah.
That's what people do.
So you endured for the time.
Politics goes mad and then they fix it.
Yeah.
They fixed it in 2020, sort of. No, they did fix it in 2020 and then they just got screwed up again.
And then they forgot.
You'll fix it again.
Yeah. And it'll be somebody else's job.
Exactly.
But look, in the meantime, be sure about what you want and what he wants.
Exactly.
And then go forward with love. Do you like that?
It's a bit much now.
Okay. I know they think about politics differently there than we do here.
But we don't think about it. Politics here is just so embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. It's our politics. Look, at the end of the day...
Did you see the election?
Which election?
They were campaigning. Actually, I think it was Monaghan they were campaigning in, was it?
What? Where?
Where they both went into the shop. Mary Lou McDonald and the Taoiseach, our Prime Minister, both went into the same shop on the same day. And this woman danced with both of them. She made them dance. Now, I'm sorry if somebody tried to dance with me like that.
And
they, because they're trying to be elected, they danced with her.
Really?
I swear to God, I wanted to comment on that, and I was like, the first person to tase this woman gets my vote.
So friend of the show, Gearóid Fairley.
Yes, good friend of the show.
Simply adore him.
We're friends on Instagram.
Gearóid has a podcast he hosts with Niamh Kavanagh,
Yeah.
who is a national treasure of Ireland.
Yes.
All right. Won the Eurovision for the country. So she's a true national treasure. Their podcast, Agony Rants.
Yes, wonderful podcast.
Now, I listen to Agony Rants. You know what I'm saying? When I
do.
say I'm into something, I mean it. Okay. So Gearóid is just not here because I'm like, oh, you want to be on the pod? It's like, no, I'm a fan. I'm into the work. Okay. So I listen to Agony Rants.
Listeners, we'll never have anyone on the show that we don't like.
Absolutely.
That is a promise.
Agony Rants. Okay, so I'm listening to it I get so excited because episodes drop Monday, but because of the time difference between California and the UK, I be getting those episodes Sundays. So I'm listening to those on like a Sunday evening. I'm like, a brand new Agony Rants. Yes, this is how things pop off for me. Well, I'm listening to Agony Rants.
Say the name again.
Agony Rants. And, I am gobsmacked. Well, first of all, we get a lovely shout out. But then there is a turn. Can I please just play this? Play the tape?
Yeah. Hey, in the booth, can we play that tape?
Dear Niamh and Gearóid,
Okay.
I'm so glad you're back. Being without you was too much. I first heard Gearóid on the Couple Therapy podcast. I loved that podcast.
How come I've not been invited for that? I
have no answer to that. It's Naomi Ekperigin and Andy Beckerman, who two are of my absolute favourite comedians, my absolute favourite podcasters.
To be fair, they probably don't know who the hell I am.
No, of course they do. They listen. They listen. And here's the thing. Naomi was in, like, she's a brilliant comedian, but I was watching Hacks. Do you watch Hacks?
No.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's so good.
I'm putting it on my list.
Season 3. Naomi Ekperigin makes an appearance at a roast. Yeah, she was brilliant. I love Naomi Ekperigin. Very, very funny comedian.
Excellent.
Okay, sorry. We were talking about couples therapy.
Yep.
Couples therapy podcast. And I knew we were destined to be together. I am a 27-year-old student and I am wrestling with something explosive from my past. Deep breath.
Explosive.
Deep breath.
Okay. Can I tell you what I take issue with?
Yeah, please.
Because first of all, thank you for the compliment, Gearóid. He knows I listen, so he got to lay it on thick. Talk about I love Naomi Ekperigin. Because Gearóid knows I listen. Gearóid knows I listen. He understands the assignment. Now, this person who found Gearóid from our podcast, correct? Somebody who obviously listens to our podcast and then enjoys it so much so that they are then driven to partake of the podcast of our guests. You would think that's a person who's a fan, right? Of couples therapy. Someone who's like, wow, like these people are really plugged in. I want to see what's going on here. A couples therapy fam, okay? Had an explosive situation from their past. And who did they write to? Agony Rants?
Wow, Naomi.
You gonna be up in here talking about I heard you're on couples therapy, but you don't want to give us the explosive?
Wow.
You don't want to give us the exclusive explosive? I'm sorry. How many times we be out here asking for your questions, your problems, your troubles? We've been doing this longer than Niamh and Gearóid. Okay, was it like too messy? You said I can't even let America know? You said I got to go tell this to somebody in the UK? Well, guess what? Podcasts are international. So I'm over here in America and I done heard what you did. And Andy, you know what else about this explosive situation?
What?
It involves a cat. So this is something that we should have really been really looped in on. And the fact that this person has something going on and didn't bring it to me, didn't bring it to couples therapy, I feel some kind of way.
Was there something European about the question that needed that our dull American brains could not have understood, or was there a euro involved?
No. Nothing was in kilometers, okay? Nothing was in euros. Okay? And so and it's like, yes, I love Gearóid and Niamh. I understand
an existential situation, and therefore the continent could only grasp the intricacies?
No. The intricacies. No. Okay? And I said, I'm not trying to create an international rivalry. You know what I'm saying? Because I stand Gearóid and Niamh, obviously.
Sure.
What I am trying to tell you, though, is that when you got something explosive going on, you come to us first, okay? Like, I'm going to have to, like, you know, you up in here, you got to stay in your home country. Don't make me a damn xenophobe by going international with your issues. You better come to me. You better come to me and let me take a crack, okay?
Yeah, you're turning Naomi into a nativist. You are.
Yes, you are.
You're making her vote for J.D. Vance.
Niamh, it's been wonderful to chat to you. agonyrath@gmail.com if you want to get in touch. We will be back either next week or last week with a vintage rants. We would love you if you would subscribe to Head Stuff Plus, because that helps us keep the show on the road.
Yeah.
So please do that. We have merch available.
Christmas is coming.
And we need reviews.
Oh,
we would like reviews.
Reviews, follow-ups, problems.
agonyrath@gmail.com.
Anything to keep us on the road, because he will cut it in a heartbeat.
Second I win the lotto.
Second.
Gone. We'll chat to you next week.
Bye.
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with Head Stuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.